6:49, welcome back to the Valley today. Well, this is a look at some of the latest storm video from down south. Officials in eastern Oklahoma will be out today assessing the damage from those powerful storm systems that moved through overnight. Tornado-like winds hit the town of Chakotah late yesterday or early this morning. The storm downed trees and power lines and also did damage to businesses and homes. The extent of the damage done in the city is still being investigated. So far, however, no injuries have been reported.
Hi again and good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Kyle Bosch. 10 minutes before 7 o'clock, and we're starting our nonstop news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. 3 big power outages in just 5 days are not sitting well with some XL Energy customers. Yeah,
Valley News Live took some calls from plenty of angry people last night complaining about their lack of electricity. The latest outage impacted about 4,000 people in South Fargo and lasted for several hours. It all started around 7 p.m. Repair crews were sent to an area of University Drive and First Avenue South for reports of electrical wires on the ground. They were also sent to 9th Street and 12th Avenue South for reports of an electrical pole on fire. Most people were finally back with power around midnight last night. 100 airmen and 17 tanker planes from the south are holed up this morning at the Grand Forks Air Force Base. They're out of harm's way from that massive storm system that made its way through the Midwest.
They arrived from Kansas and Nebraska yesterday and will spend a day or two in the North Dakota safe haven until the weather clears.
Sometimes it's not even a factor of the fact that there's damage to the airplane, but that they also may just have to sit there and not have the conditions to take off and perform their mission. So by coming up here, it allows them to either keep the airplane safe and or perform their mission.
Now, this is not the first time this has happened. Several Air Force planes were diverted to Grand Forks last summer, also because of severe weather down south.
It's 6:51. Time for weather and traffic on the ones. We do not have severe weather here in the Valley to talk about, but still some clouds we're working on breaking through. I can see a little bit of the sunrise.
Yeah, we've got a gorgeous sunrise in Fargo, so that means a little bit of clear sky, and this may help to brighten things up. Get out and enjoy it, because I don't know if we're going to be able to hang on to this all day long. We've got some cloud cover in the Southern Valley for today, and Fargo-Moorhead may be in that area where we're kind of stuck under the clouds for most of the day once again. Mostly cloudy skies for your forecast. Expect to see temperatures to start in the 40s in Fargo and then rise into the mid-50s. And through your hourly planner, some moments where we're in the cloud cover and some where we may get a little bit of sunshine today. Winds will be picking up and out of the east and becoming a little more northeasterly into the 20s, maybe even getting up to about 30 miles per hour. And those clouds, they're on the very northern end of that big system we were just telling you about. We're seeing the cloud cover associated with it and a chance for a little bit of rain too in our southern viewing area. Farther away from you are up in the north, the more likely you're going to see some sunshine today. Off to the west, they've got rain showers streaming in, even some snow in the Dickinson area, and we may have a couple of sprinkles around the Jamestown area this morning, but otherwise looking quiet to start off. Temperatures are warmest in the southwest, where we are under the clouds. 42 degrees currently in Fargo, 41 in Grand Forks. We are at 30 in Baudette, below freezing, thanks to some clear skies and drier air there. We've got winds out of the east, and things are looking okay, except for Fergus Falls. We do have a 20-mile-per-hour gust, and again, that does pick up through the morning hours and into the later part of the day. So next couple of days, temperatures in the 50s, mostly cloudy skies in the south, but can't rule out a little bit of sun from time to time for today, and especially into tomorrow afternoon. Eventually, our rain chances do wind down tomorrow afternoon. We get a break on Friday, and temperatures rise. Saturday especially, we may see some rain showers, but temperatures are making a recovery back into the 60s, and we may see 70 by next week. Let's check in now with Al.
Police were back on Interstate 94 right now, and boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of traffic out here this morning. Traffic had been kind of slow this week, but boy, we're really rolling right now. Both Interstate 94 and Interstate 29, very, very heavy traffic at this hour. Heavy for Fargo-Moorhead, that is. If you're southbound on Interstate 29, make sure you look out for a North Dakota Highway Patrol officer. He has a little white Mustang pulled over just south of the 13th Avenue overpass. I give him a little bit of extra room to take care of his business there. Otherwise, like I said, things are looking pretty good, but it's busy. Drive carefully. Willamette Valley today traffic.
It's now 6 minutes before 7. Another road closure for people driving in Moorhead. This one starting at 1 this afternoon. 11th Street North between Center and First Avenues will be closed for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, crews are making some water main repairs in that area. Drivers are told to find a different route. Well, the man who was named a person of interest in the disappearance of Jacob Wetterling is due in court today. Danny Heinrich is facing federal child pornography charges. Lawyers are expected to argue today whether a search of Heinrich's home last summer was legal and whether statements he made to investigators did not violate his legal rights.
Now, Heinrich has pleaded not guilty to the charges. He also does not yet face any charges related to Wetterling's abduction and continues to deny any involvement in that case.
A North Dakota high school basketball coach has been arrested for sexual assault. Williston police say 33-year-old Walter Eldridge is in jail awaiting his initial court appearance.
He's accused of having sexual contact with a girl last December, but the school superintendent says he cannot go into detail about the case. Eldridge is the head coach of the Williston High School girls basketball team and an English teacher. A lack of funding is leading to cuts at developmental activity centers across Minnesota, in some cases leaving them on the verge of being shut down. The one in Ada helps people with disabilities find jobs. If centers like this one shut down, some people with disabilities won't have a chance to work.
Now, the Best Life Alliance, which is a nonpartisan coalition of Minnesotans, is trying to get state lawmakers to pass a bill that would give a 5% funding increase for home and community-based care providers. If the bill is not approved this session, centers across the state will likely stay open only until they run out of money. In the wake of Prince's death, many people are talking about the importance of a will.
The music icon did not have one, and now it will be up to the courts to decide what happens to his estate. But complications of not having a will are not just a problem for the rich and famous. A planning attorney says a will is important for any family. Hiring a professional is one option, but for those who can't afford it, there are alternatives. The do-it-yourself route. A quick online search brings up a document that you can easily fill out.
You can also simply write down a will on a piece of paper. It's called a holographic will, and that approach is legal in North Dakota, though not in Minnesota. However, online or paper wills don't always deal with everyone's issues.
They're not very tailored to each client, so they just assume the same situation for everybody that's going to use them.
And what would happen to your assets if you die and don't have a will? That's up to the state that you live in.
Well, they work with families who have been affected by autism spectrum disorder with plenty of therapy, care, and support.
The Valley Today's Christy Larson joins us live from the North Dakota Autism Center with more on how you can help out. Good morning, Christy.
Good morning, guys. You know, we just were talking about how the state has cut some funding for those families to get the support that they need for the child care. So Emily and I have been talking, and again, what can we do to help them maybe regain that support from the state?
For one thing, the public comment section on the website, nd.gov/DHS is open until May 6th. Any public comments that people want to make regarding the recent cuts in the autism waiver and the autism voucher, we're looking for any support we can get. So up until May 6th, you can make a public comment on the website there.
And then also the awesome evening coming up on Friday.
Yes, there are still 20 tickets currently available for the awesome evening. It's one of our biggest fundraising events of the year. This is looking to be the biggest one that we've held yet, so we're really excited about it.
And I know you guys have a lot of awesome items out for the silent auction. Of course, they're going to have an awesome meal. It's going to be, like your title, an awesome evening. So again, we have information on those tickets on valleynewslive.com. Just click on the hot button. Also on their page, you can find out more ways that you can help donate to them. And guys, as you can see, just so many different items to choose from. So why not go and help out a very good cause in our community?
And I see a couple of Carson Wentz autographed helmets on that table.
They've been very popular.
Plenty of people, and especially after tomorrow night in the draft, that's an investment in the future, I would imagine.
For sure. Christy Larson reporting live. Thank you, Christy.
It can happen pretty much anywhere, but right now, police in Thompson, North Dakota are the ones warning people to keep an eye out for suspicious activity. This after 2 forced entries into locked homes. In both cases, it happened with people going in through locked basement windows.
Police say it's possible that people are checking for unsecured medication and then quickly leaving. Valuables in Plainview have been ignored. Similar activity has also been reported in Trail County. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question, in a recent survey, 38% of women said they're trying to cut back on this.
The answer, Gossiping.
We're trying to cut back.
So 38% of women are lying. Right? Come on. Well, no, you're trying. That's true. That's probably accurate.
I never said I was trying to cut back. I enjoy my gossiping, and I own it.
Well, today we've got some cloud cover on the way. We did see a beautiful sunrise, but I just looked at our sky cam. It's starting to disappear behind that cloud deck. Hopefully we can see more of it today. There is a slight chance for a little rain in the far south. That'll exit tomorrow morning, and Friday looks dry, and 60s return as well.
Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. More local news and weather for you right here in just 25 minutes.
Have a great Wednesday, everybody. We will see you tomorrow morning.